What's going on, everybody? It is Friday. Spies up a little bit. Really, today's honestly a pretty boring looking day. I didn't have a single news, earnings release, nothing today. Tesla, STM, and TLRY. I mean, I got 7 stocks on my watch list, and they're all just your usual in-play gapping stocks. So I mean, looking at NBEV, TLRY, Tesla, AMD, Netflix, AMRN, and a couple of small cap stocks might end up getting some trades today. Really looking at NBEV for a possible gap and go here. Not gonna go max size on it because I usually don't trade stocks this small. Probably end up really only risking like $100 on it. Not trying to treat it like I usually do. It's not exactly how I usually trade them. It's not all the variables in line, so no sense in trying to force anything today. Main goal is just to be pretty patient, make sure I'm watching everything, reading it correctly, not trying to force anything. Big sellers there at 9. Gonna break it. Might look for some longer term holding trades today too. Really might be the only thing that I get today. Tesla cratering. Yeah, nothing really. Nothing happening on the gap and go side of things. We'll see about opening range plays here. AMD moving up 30 cents. See what NBEV looks like here at 9:25. Let's see pre-market. Been stuck at this 24 multiple times. TLRY going from green to red. Still a circuit breaker on it. Can't short it. Only longs. NBEV not looking great for a opening range. Tesla's got some huge candles. Don't have anything until 270.40, so there is some space. I'd like to see it get there before the opening range play happens. It must have been a lower time frame. No, that's it. This little thing down here is pre-market low. The first minute in the opening after hours. AMD seems to be getting stuck right underneath resistance. Stay away from that. let's say 271.30, 272.30 with the spread. I can probably go 150. I want to see it close first, though. Yeah, if AMD wasn't right underneath resistance, it'd be a pretty good one. HamRN just came all the way back from dropping 50 cents to up 50 cents. Oh, we got something here. I'm gonna go for this. Looking to get $1 out of it. Man, I was a penny from getting in. Saw it right on 31. Still possible here. Keep my order in. SPY's moving up pretty good here, though. No good opening range plays look like that. Could be a good short off of VWAP though. Have to pay attention when it does around it. Didn't quite get there. And now we're tapping it. Here again, if I see some selling and I'm not, nothing significant here. It might want to blow through it. $273 is holding pretty well though. Nope, there it goes. Definitely missed it. Okay, I'm gonna go for this. SPY's starting to turn around here. I saw it test one time, and it definitely bounced from it once, but I guess after that one time, that was it. That was my one and only shot at it. What's happening up here? High or low each time here. Want to watch the tape as it gets there. Yeah, this 20's been very strong. Tons of times we've been testing it. Tesla did finally get underneath. Not after getting about a point above VWAP though. And it's coming right back again. Alright, well I'm not seeing anything. If AMRN gets back up to 20, I'll turn back. Alright, I think I'm just gonna call it here. Things are kinda falling off of a cliff right now. I mean, there's not really... I'm a VWAP player, and I mean, if things are falling this far off from VWAP, I'm probably not going to find anything else, so I think I'm just going to call it here. Nothing really seems to be acting the way that I want to see it acting, so I mean, since nothing was in play from the beginning, definitely not going to try and force anything that I usually don't trade in the first place, so only trade that I took was on Tesla. Pretty nice opening drop here. Was looking for the opening range short. I was a penny within getting filled. Guess I should be pretty happy I didn't get filled. Came back to VWAP. I knew that it could be a good short again still, so I waited for it to confirm, you know, from the tape that it was getting ready to move. So I was looking at it on this candle here, and I started seeing it was pretty slow. There wasn't really too much green or red on it, and then all of a sudden I see this big red chunk, and then it was a little too far, and I just kind of really let it go. I mean, I really just missed my entry. I probably should have been a little more trigger happy than trigger shy trying to get into it, but either way would have gotten stopped out. So on the second retest, same scenario, just wanted to get in on it, did, and then it stopped me out, moving right back above, touching the 9 EMA. And then the problem from that point is I switched over to AMD because AMD was starting to get above VWAP here. Same with AMRN. I think it was mainly AMRN. I was looking at it this 2020 here, and I completely took my eyes off of Tesla. And that was the mistake, because these kind of trades, you know, if they set up again, which it did, I mean, as soon as I got out, engulfing candle straight back down, get back to VWAP, it gives me my new stop loss, still respecting the 9 EMA. So then at this point on this candle here, I need to treat it the same way I treated that BABA trade that I took this week, where we make a nice move here, come back again, and then here's where I need to start looking for my entry. I need to see a retest of VWAP, which is what it did, and then I need to see on the tape that we're seeing a bunch of selling as it gets close to VWAP. I mean, it definitely would have worked out. I had 2 solid minutes here to get a good entry in with a new stop loss, still respecting all my rules and everything. I mean, I could have taken another 100 shares and then just fell off a cliff from that point. I mean, I done it a couple of times this week where, you know, I hit out, the stock goes back the way I thought it would, and then, I mean, that doesn't mean that I need to just avoid the stock altogether. It means that, you know, from the beginning of this week, I was telling myself it might take 2 or 3 entries until I catch the real move, and this is one scenario where it would have taken 2 entries before I caught the real move. So it's really just too bad. I mean, it's a really good looking setup again. My weekly review is going to be super short this week, so I'm just going to do it now. Took 4 other trades. First trade of the week I took was this IGC trade. I don't know, I really blew it on Tuesday, honestly. I took new strategy that I've been thinking about taking, and I mean, it's good that I'm pulling the trigger on it, but they were just really ugly trades. I mean, I should have been taking them the complete opposite way than what I was doing. So looking at IGC, come on, IGC making pretty nice flag here. I was paying attention for it, looking for the breakout long. I mean, it looks really good for a long, huge gap up, moving averages underneath it. Can't remember exactly why I didn't get into it. Looks like I was trying to get in at 11. Same scenario, you know, we get that breakout, it comes back to VWAP and taps it, and then that's it. That's my one and only opportunity on it to get in. Looks like failed to make a significant breakout of the triangle, started from the open, came back hard to VWAP from a bounce of 1081. So this little wick here. Failed twice to get above VWAP. It was kind of failing here again. So at this point I should be thinking I'm either going to get long on a pullback to VWAP, which it did, and I missed it. Let me go back. I want to see what exactly happened. So it breaks out, decent volume, kind of struggling to get above this 40 area. See on the tape it's coming back. So I had to take that BABA trade to really understand what it is that I want to see, because I know just last couple of weeks my main goal has been really trying to clarify what it is that I want to see before I get into these trades, and I'm definitely getting closer. That BABA trade really helped me out, figure out what I want to do. So at this point I should be thinking, okay, I want to see it come back to VWAP, I want to see it hold. So now we're coming back, go slower. Coming back, seeing a ton of red on the tape, not exactly at VWAP yet, but I want to see it starting to hold, and I want to see green on the tape really telling me that it wants to bounce, and really I didn't see too much of anything. I think 11:05, maybe 11:10 might have been the best case scenario for me to get into this trade. And no, came back again. And then we start seeing green, and then it starts taking off. So I mean, I might have gotten filled on it if I wanted to take it the right way that I should have taken it, because volume's growing, it's starting to get closer and closer at this 40 level. Just really tells you that it wants to bust out, and I mean it does. So that was the trade that I missed on it. And then after that breakout failed, came back to VWAP. So at this point there's a ton of trapped longs in here. That whole candle is everybody's underwater. that's underneath that was long from this move here, or any of these moves. So we come down to this 1080, and for some reason, I really upset with how I traded this Monday, because everything was perfect. I just traded it the wrong direction because for some reason my mind was stuck on trying this new strategy, and I couldn't adapt, and I couldn't figure it out to take it the other way. But I mean, it's so good looking, just looking the other way. So we got all these trapped longs. We come on this 1080 level a bunch of times here, 4 times. And I'm thinking that I want to buy in front of it and take it for along the other direction if it bounces. I mean, I get in, and luckily I get out immediately as it starts busting through. So I mean, you see all these lower highs, and we got the moving averages on top of it. I mean, it's such a clear short. Take 1,000 shares, quick scalp on it, and I mean, the thing just took off, never came back really. I don't even have to take a scalp on it really. I mean, I can treat this like it's not necessarily an unusual buyer-seller scalp for me, but it's more of a trapped traders. I might call it like a trapped traders SMB trade or something. Because the same case happened with this AMD where it's really obvious. So now the same situation. AMD, very weak at the open, came back to view app, got caught by the 20, failed, kind of tapped view up again, failed, big engulfing candle here, and now we're getting to this 30 level, and 30 is a very significant level. It's very strong on the daily, big level to trade off of. So kind of get stuck in a range here. We're failing multiple times to go either way. So what I'm thinking about doing is I want to short it. I mean, in this case it would have worked because it's still respecting the pattern, it's respecting the moving averages. Still a chance for it to go either way. Definitely still a chance for it to squeeze though. So again, same scenario. I should have been a little more adaptable and been able to take it either direction. So I'm trying to get filled at 13 here. See it again. So we got 13. I'm waiting to see what it does. Saw the huge sellers up there. Maybe not necessarily huge relative to AMD, but regardless, holding the level all the same. Not breaking, not doing anything. Still respecting the moving averages. And I wish I had the 5-minute chart on this just to see what it looked like. But we are starting to get kind of really a quadruple bottom here. Just don't get filled on it. The only thing I'm trying to do on it is just take it back to low a day. Would have worked in this case, but I think the better trade, much better trade, is to look at it taking it long after all the shorts in here get squeezed out, because this 13, 14 level is a very clear stop loss level. Not to mention the support of 30 underneath it. So now we're coming back towards 30. And the key point here to note is we get close to 30, but we don't actually touch 30. So now we're starting to make a higher low, which there's not enough selling pressure to have this thing break underneath 30. So if it's not going to break underneath 30, there's going to be a bunch of shorts in here thinking, okay, we're going to have to get out if it gets above this level, this range. So I saw 30.02. $30.01. Okay, so now we had a little bit of a slower grind. You can see on these past moves, big engulfing, big engulfing. Now we're kind of getting a slow move, little weaker volume. Moving averages are getting tighter, so you would expect this thing to break down underneath short with the moving average pressure coming on top of it. But we don't get that. You gotta trade what you see, not what you think. So at this point, I'm still thinking I want to get filled at 12 to take it long, but it's just not the same trade anymore. Over here it looked fine, because we still had the moving averages on top of it. But now we're starting to make a higher low, and the moving averages are coiling. You can see the 20 is starting to curl up a little bit here. The 9 is curling up. So I fill at 12 and immediately goes to 14. 14 was this high of the range here, and then we get to 15. So then now at this point, we start seeing the squeeze. I mean, I had plenty of time to get long here too. But saw it was still holding that 14-15 level. Had a little bounce off of it. Yeah, I think this was probably the first ever revenge trade that I took. I was just mad because it was still bouncing around and it was still holding that 14-15 level. So I'm in it. Nope, not in yet. Go for it again. Filled and immediately stopped out at 16. I mean, you can just tell better trades long. I mean, the thing just took off from that point. I could have taken it back to VWAP because it ended up getting there. Yeah, just a straight shot to it, a little bit above it. Would have been a nice trade to take the other way. What did IGC do? Yeah, it took a little bit, but it kept moving down. Still respecting the 9 there. I don't know what exactly would have happened on this trade. I probably would have gotten out most of it within 10-15 cents, but either way, these are two really clear examples of which direction I need to be trading these, because AMD, super nice squeeze after the moving average got underneath it. And then IGC, just a really clear trap traders scenario. So then Baba was the good trade on the week. I'll just go to the video. Alright, so Baba. Decent move at the open, higher, gapping up a little bit. I don't think that it had news on it. Yeah, I didn't write anything about news, so I don't think it had any news. I think it was just up 2% or so. Came back to VWAP once, tapped it, and got bought up hard back again. So whenever these stocks do this, I always want to see the first test of VWAP hold so that I have a clear stop loss. Because if I'm just entering off of an attempt at VWAP, I don't really have a clear stop loss. I mean, if I tried to get in on this, it may have well been underneath the whole number, but I mean, that's just this doesn't mean too much. Now, after we have this, that means something. That's much more clear. So we got up again, failed to make a new high, but still holding strong. Wanting to see it hold VWAP. So at this point, I'm thinking, okay, I want to see it come back to VWAP. I want to see it hold. I want to see green on the tape, and then I want to get in on it. So we're at VWAP, not seeing a ton of red. It looks like we're holding it, seeing some green, seeing a bunch of green, and then after I see this little chunk of green in here, that's when I want to put my order in. Trying to get filled at 20. It might have been a little, I don't know what the word is. I'm really stretching my limits here, trying to get filled that close to VWAP after it's already bounced, but luckily enough, I ended up getting filled anyway. Came back, bought back up immediately. Definitely a good sign. Stop loss is underneath the whole number, which is good. I think that's the right stop loss. This might be a little too tight because we have a whole number, 5 cents away from this, so why not just make it the whole number, give it that extra little support. And then it just gets bought back up. Big engulfing candle to cover this red one that it made, and that was really the end of it. I get out, I believe, most of my position up here. And the problem with this is these trades that I'm taking, the IGC, the AMD, I lost like 50, 60 bucks on all of them. The trade I took on Tesla today, only lost 40 bucks on them. The trades that I get where it actually works in my favor, I see exactly what I want to see. High probability setups. These trades need to erase, multiple losses. And with this BABA trade, I blew it with my size. I only took 250 shares, risking 20 cents. So I'm only risking 50 bucks on it. Which, yeah, if it's a loss, that's fine. But with these trades, I need to be, especially if I'm giving it that much space, these trades need to be erasing multiple losses. And what ended up happening is it only erased, like 1 or 2. But if this BABA trade would have worked out, this one winner, if I used the appropriate size, would have probably made me green on the week. None of those losses would have made a difference. This should have been a $200 winner. Probably got out a little too slow on that move. I definitely could have gotten out closer to 80. I'm pretty sure we ended up popping up towards the whole number again. Next little move. Starts making a flag here. End up hit now once it gives me a new stop loss at that 60. But the trade definitely doesn't have to be over here, because I can look for another entry at some point. Kind of the same scenario we saw here. We had a significant level at the 60, and then it came back underneath this, giving me something like, what is that, 50 maybe. So then at this point I can be thinking, okay, if it really wants to hold this level, we start seeing a bunch of green on the tape, I can add back into this trade, looking for a new breakout of this flag that it's making, because we still got the moving averages on top here, or underneath. See, we came and we touched that 40, and then we start seeing a ton of green here. So I should be looking to try and get filled somewhere. Stop loss underneath this 40. But we just kind of took off, and I'm not in it. That one might have been a little difficult to get into. I might have had to chase it, maybe use a market order to get in, lower my size. But if I can't get my entry, then it doesn't make much sense on these types of trades to go for like a 1-to-1 instead of, a 5-to-1 or something. BABA was pretty clear though. Worked out pretty well. Ended up making that move and just kind of coming back, not really doing too much after that. And that's really it. I think, I used to tell myself all the time that I need to hang in there and stay with the stocks to see if they make the real move. But back then when I used to say it didn't make much sense because I wasn't super clear on what it is that I'm trying to see. But nowadays, after this past couple weeks, I'm definitely much more clear on what it is that I want to see. This Tesla the Baba, pretty much all of these trap traders trades that I'm trying to notice, pay attention to. It's really what I need to see and start trading that way. So I mean, you know, I have a clear picture now of what it is that I want to see. You know, I made my goal this month to figure out what it is for my SMB trades. You know, how I want to trade them, where I want my entries to be, how I'm going to manage my risk, manage my stop losses, everything like that. So, gonna call it here. Decent learning week, I guess. I mean, I just gotta stick in there and see the real moves, trade the real moves, not be so trigger shy. You know, once I see it, once I see what I want to see, that's when I gotta click the button and try and get in, and then just get more information, get more data, and really just keep trying to improve how it is that I'm managing these trades. So thanks for watching. Hopefully next week is a little more busy and active than this week, and I'll be back.